Well, hello, welcome again to reading of Iliad Book 2, and I got up to line 166, and so this next section here from lines 166 to 206, Athena gets Odysseus to hold back the Greeks from leaving because Agamemnon, as part of his plan, has told them it's time to go home again. And the whole thing was meant to be a ploy to get them to in fact do the exact opposite. So at this point, Hera has called upon Athena to go down and stop the Greeks from leaving. So thus she spoke, this is Hera, nor did the grey-eyed goddess Athena disobey. She went, so it's aixasa from aiso, if you're looking it up, it's the diaeresis here, it means to dart, to hurry. So she darted down the peaks of Olympus, and the kata goes with the aiso here. So she went off, darting down the peaks of Olympus and Carpamelios, and quickly Hicone, she arrived at the swift ships of the Achaeans. Hurin epate Odyssea, and when she found from Hurisco Odysseus, who is matin talanton, the deer, so it's really a match in wits for Zeus. It's a pretty strong statement. So appear of Zeus in his wits, in his counsel. Hestaot, something like, I think she stood there, nor. Yes, so she found Odysseus that, this is a accusative here. So she found Odysseus, a match in wits to Zeus. She found him standing there, nor did he get, in fact, haptet from haptomai. We saw this in the earlier bit where they were putting their hands on, they were touching the ships. So, nor did he touch the now this is the ship, the black ship with its beautiful benches. So nor did he, in fact, almost go near, have anything to do with his black ship with its beautiful benches, when, or perhaps since, akos, grief, Hikanen, came to him in his heart and in his thumos, perhaps in his soul, in his heart and in his soul. And grey-eyed goddess Athena, standing near, anku is an adverb here, standing near, she addressed him. And she says, Diogenes Laertiade, so much devising Odysseus, son of Laertes, literally perhaps descended from Zeus, of the race of Zeus. This is a common epithet of Odysseus, often translated wily. Odysseus of the many devices, the many tricks, son of Laertes. Diogenes, something like descended from Zeus. Huto de oikondiphilan. Now this is a question. I'm going to go all the way down here to see this whole bit's a question. So fuxes is from future from fugo. Will you flee? Pesontes from pipto, literally falling into your into the ships with their many benches. Another word for, had that one before, I think it's something like many benched ships. So it's almost jumping into your many benched ships. Will you flee? Now the kata goes with, this is from kata. The alpha's elida, we've seen this before in an earlier line. And then the tor becomes a delta before the d. So leaving behind, so this is plural here, second person plural. And it's both of these are plural here. So it means all of you Achaeans. So will all of you lot, falling into your many bench ships, will you flee? Will you leave, having left behind a boast for Priam and the Trojans, i.e. Argive Helen, on account of whom many of the Achaeans perished in Troy, away from their dear ancestral land. This is exactly the same as we had in the earlier bit. It's just repetition, which is often useful. Now the next bit says, Al ithi nun, but go now, katalaon, about the host of the Achaeans, me et eroe. Eroe is to draw back, so no longer draw back, almost no longer hesitate. Ere tuo, we've seen that verb before, so restrain each man. We've had this phos, this is from phos with an acute accent. Restrain each man with your gentle words, nor allow them to drag, from helco, infinitive, drag the ships which are the curved ships Heladi to the sea. Again, that was fairly repetitive from the previous section. Hosvar, thus she spoke, but he, sun eika is from sun hiami, and sun hiami is to understand. It's quite a common use of that meaning, sun hiami. So he understood the oppa, from ops, the voice of the goddess who was calling out. So thus she spoke, and he almost recognized here the voice of the goddess as she was calling out. Be de theain, this is an infinitive from theo, he went, we would say on the run, literally he went to run, so he went on the run, and ballet, literally he threw, ballo, and apo is a preverb with that, so he threw away his klenan, his cloak. This is the outer top cloak, more like a coat or something. So he threw away his cloak, which, and that's agreeing back with the klenan, the herald, the one from Ithaca, whose name was Eurybates, commissaire, imperfect, used to carry or was carrying for him. And who, this is from op-a-deo, is the verb, this is an imperfect, used to carry, hoi, for him. So imperfect here from op-a-deo is a contract verb, so it would be op-a-de, without augment, and hoi for him. So he threw which the Ithacian herald Eurybates used to carry, who was an attendant for him. You get opades is an attendant, opedio is to attend, to sort of be there as like a butler, who used to attend to him. Autos de etradio, and he himself, having gone opposite the son so in front of Agamemnon, son of Atreus, dexato, he received, or perhaps almost he took here from decami, words. Well, he took perhaps to himself the ancestral scepter, which is aphiton ia, we've had that expression before there, which is always incorruptible. In other words, it's been there for a long time, which is always indestructible. And with it, that is with the scepter, ebe, he went, kata, around the ships of the bronze-chitoned Achaeans. So he himself having gone opposite in front of Agamemnon, son of Atreus, he took to himself the ancestral scepter which lasts forever, and with it he went about the ships of the bronze-chitoned Achaeans. Hon tina men basileia kai execonandra kikei. So this is the verb here. It's an optative from kikano, to find or to come across. So whomever man he might come across who was a basileia, well, a king. It's hard to translate this as king really. It almost means an ancestral leader, a leader of a clan. We would say or here, but it's and, an execon andra, a man of note, a man who stands out or something. So a man of note, him, standing beside him. Now this is iterative again from ere tuo, and this is this iterative form. He was restraining, so standing beside him, he was continually restraining him with gentle words. Daimonia, now daimonie is an vocative here. Now this is a funny word. The ancient Greeks had this sense, especially in Homer, that in addition to a human, that when you were born, in addition to a human body, there's also a daimon associated with you, which is a kind of, well, not quite our guardian angel idea, because the daimon could be bad as well as good, but there was this kind of spirit there. And so when they say daimonie, he's really speaking not to the person but to their daimon. Now one way of getting this into English, which I must confess I nicked from someone else, this expression, is to use the expression, what has got into you? Which I think is very, very nice way of translating this. Doesn't always work with this word, but it certainly does here. So it's something like a daimonie, what's got into you? Use e oike kakon hos di desesthai. Does it not seem to you a bad thing? Now this is an infinitive from, it's de desesthai. It's connected with de dia, to be frightened and so on, and it's middle here, and the hose with that accent means thus. So does it not seem a bad thing to you to be so frightened? But you yourself also, katheso, this is an imperative, sit down and hydrue, hold fast the rest of the host. It's the idea of hold back. It's to check or something here. So it's something like hold fast and check the rest of the people, the rest of the other peoples, the rest of the host. U garpo suffer ois, for not yet, ois from oida, do you know clearly, that's an adverb here from Saphes, do you know clearly, hoios, such a thing the mind of the son of Atreus is. So we would say, what is the mind of the son of Atreus? So you don't really know the full story, is what he's saying here. Agamemnon's told them all to go to their ships and go home, but he says you don't really know clearly. So how, hoios here for how, I think, for how, or what is the noos, the mind of the son of Atreus. Nun men paretai. For now this is from Peiramai, to put you to the test. So he's now testing you out. But soon, ipsatai, this is from iptamai, he will chastise the sons of the Achaeans. So now he's putting you to the test, but he will soon, this is a future here from iptamai, he will chastise the sons of the Achaeans. En boule upantes, for we, not all of us, heard in the council, hoion epe, how he spoke. Now this is all a question, because it began up here, does it not seem a bad thing to you to be so frightened? So it's all meant to be a question here, but it ends up sort of mixture of the two. So it's for we did not all hear, well, Odysseus did, but the others didn't, in the boule, in the council, such a thing as he said. You didn't all really hear what he said. Me ti kolos menos rexe kakon huios akaion. Having become angry, now the me here goes with the rexe. This is from resdo, to do, and this is a subjunctive here being used for an imperative. So may he not, having become angry in some way, may he not do a bad thing to the sons of the Achaeans. For great is the thumos. Thumos can mean the heart, but also can mean anger. So great is the anger of the kings who are nourished by Zeus. Time dectios esti. But honour, so perhaps there is honour from Zeus. Understand for them, that's these kings nourished by Zeus. But thoughtful, that this again is a nominative adjective. Wily or wily Zeus, philae he for auton, is very fond of him. And that's probably a good place to stop, and I'll continue this in the next recording.